It is one of the most deeply frustrating and emotionally exhausting experiences of getting older. Looking in the bedroom mirror and realizing that while your arms and your legs might still be relatively thin, your belly has grown significantly outward, becoming hard, tight, and completely stubborn. You might have tried drastically cutting your portion sizes, meticulously counting every single calorie that enters your mouth, or forcing yourself to eat flavorless, empty salads, only to step on the bathroom scale 3 weeks later and realize that the hard, protruding belly has not shrunk a single millimeter. For decades, the mainstream fitness industry and popular health magazines have aggressively pushed the completely exhausting, medically flawed idea that losing this specific type of belly weight simply requires extreme willpower, intense starvation, and hours of painful cardiovascular exercise. But today, we need to have a very direct, straightforward, and honest conversation about why absolutely everything you have been told about losing belly fat after the age of 60 is fundamentally backward, and how you can completely melt it away using what is genuinely the easiest, most effortless dietary protocol in the world, taking only 14 short days to see and feel a massive, undeniable difference. To truly understand how to rapidly eliminate this stubborn weight, you first have to understand what that hard belly actually is, because it is entirely different from the soft, squishy fat that sits just underneath the skin on your thighs or the back of your arms. That hard, round stomach is entirely caused by something called visceral fat, which is a thick, highly dangerous layer of fat that packs itself tightly deep inside your abdominal cavity, wrapping aggressively around your liver, your pancreas, and your delicate intestines like a suffocating blanket. This thick layer of internal fat physically pushes outward against your abdominal wall, which is exactly why the stomach feels so dense and hard to the touch. And it pushes forcefully upward against your diaphragm, making it increasingly difficult to take a deep, full breath, and often directly contributing to terrible snoring or sleep apnea during the night. More importantly, this visceral fat is not just dead, inactive, stored energy. It is actually a highly active, living, toxic organ that constantly pumps dangerous, inflammatory chemicals directly into your bloodstream 24 hours a day, driving up your blood pressure, wrecking your aging joints, and silently setting the biological stage for major metabolic disease. Because this fat is biologically distinct, you absolutely cannot simply starve it away. When you try to eat 5 or 6 tiny, restricted meals a day, dutifully following the outdated medical advice to keep your metabolism running, you are actually triggering a massive biological trap governed by a powerful master hormone called insulin. Insulin is the body's ultimate storage hormone, and every single time you eat, especially if you are eating bread, pasta, crackers, or anything containing hidden sugar, your pancreas automatically floods your bloodstream with a massive surge of insulin. Think of insulin as a massive, incredibly strict security guard standing directly in front of the door to your fat cells. As long as this insulin security guard is present and active in your bloodstream, the doors to your fat cells are tightly locked, meaning your body is biologically, chemically forbidden from burning that deep, visceral fat for energy. You could be practically starving, eating only 800 calories a day, but if you are snacking on an apple, a small yogurt, or a piece of dry toast every few hours, your insulin remains constantly elevated, the doors stay completely locked, and your body will actually choose to break down your precious, vital muscle tissue for energy rather than touching a single ounce of that toxic belly fat. This is exactly why the true scientific secret to rapidly melting visceral fat without losing your muscle mass or losing your sanity has absolutely nothing to do with drastically changing what you eat, but relies entirely upon changing exactly when you eat. The world's easiest, most scientifically validated diet for targeting this specific toxic fat is called time-restricted eating, or circadian fasting, and it is so incredibly simple and gentle that your body does 90% of the hard physiological work while you are completely asleep in your bed. The protocol simply requires you to give your overworked digestive system a total, uninterrupted rest for exactly 14 hours every single day, leaving a highly comfortable 10-hour window where you can enjoy your normal, satisfying meals. This time frame might sound slightly intimidating at first, but let us look at the actual math of how brilliantly easy this is to apply to your normal daily life. If you simply finish your last bite of a satisfying, delicious dinner by 7 o'clock in the evening, and you make the firm decision that you are not going to consume any more calories for the rest of the night, you have already started the fat-burning clock. You go to sleep feeling completely comfortable and comfortably full, and while you are resting, your blood sugar slowly, naturally drops, and that strict security guard insulin finally packs up and goes home. Somewhere around 2 or 3 in the morning, with insulin completely out of the picture, the heavy doors to your fat cells finally swing wide open, and your body quietly shifts into a deep, highly efficient, fat-burning state, actively melting away the visceral fat wrapping your organs just to keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing while you dream. By the time you wake up at 7 in the morning, you have already been fasting for 12 hours, entirely effortlessly, without feeling a single moment of hunger. To hit the magic 14-hour mark and achieve the maximum medical benefit for visceral fat reduction, all you have to do is simply delay your morning meal until 9 o'clock, enjoying a pure black coffee, plain tea, or a large glass of warm water with a tiny pinch of natural sea salt in the meantime. Drinking that warm mineral water first thing in the morning is a brilliant medical trick because it deeply hydrates your cells, replenishes the vital electrolytes you lost while sleeping, and completely kills any mild hunger pangs, making the final hours of the fast feel completely effortless. You do not have to buy incredibly expensive prepackaged diet meals. You do not have to meticulously weigh your food on a plastic kitchen scale, and you do not have to count a single calorie. You just give your body a clean 14-hour break from the exhausting work of digestion, allowing the beautiful biological magic of low insulin to melt the fat away. However, there is one incredibly vital, absolute non-negotiable rule you must follow when 9 o'clock finally arrives and it is time to break your fast. A simple morning hack that completely determines whether you will continue burning visceral fat all afternoon or immediately shut the whole healing process down. When you open your eating window, your body is exactly like a dry sponge, incredibly sensitive and ready to absorb whatever you give it. If you break your fast with a bowl of sugary cereal, a piece of toast with sweet jam, or a large glass of orange juice, you will cause a massive, violent spike in your blood sugar, immediately waking up the insulin security guard, slamming the fat cell doors shut, and setting yourself up for a massive energy crash by noon. You will spend the rest of the day trapped in a miserable cycle of snacking, constantly chasing energy, but never actually feeling satisfied. To keep the fat-burning engine roaring loudly for hours after you start eating, you must break your 14-hour fast exclusively with high-quality protein and rich, healthy fats, completely avoiding simple carbohydrates. Imagine sitting down to a beautiful, highly satisfying breakfast of 3 whole eggs cooked in genuine, high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil, perhaps alongside half of a creamy avocado or a small serving of smoked salmon. Because this breakfast contains virtually 0 carbohydrates, it does not spike your insulin, meaning the doors to your fat cells remain wide open, allowing your body to continue burning that stubborn belly fat for hours while you go about your morning feeling completely full, deeply energized, and highly focused. Protein is incredibly satiating, meaning it sends a powerful, immediate signal to your brain that you are well fed and perfectly safe, completely eliminating the terrible urge to snack before your next meal. You can then enjoy a normal, sensible lunch and dinner, perhaps a nice piece of chicken or fish with plenty of colorful vegetables, completely satisfied until the 7 o'clock cutoff arrives and the magical fat-burning cycle begins all over again. When you commit to this incredibly simple 14-hour digestive rest and perfectly pair it with a protein-rich, low-carbohydrate breakfast, the physical transformation that occurs inside your aging body over the course of just 14 days is nothing short of miraculous. Within the very first 3 to 4 days, you will notice a massive, dramatic drop in stomach bloating and puffiness, because as insulin levels finally drop, your kidneys immediately flush out all the excess stagnant water and sodium that the chronic inflammation was forcing you to hold on to, making your stomach look visibly flatter almost overnight. By the end of the first week, the heavy, exhausting brain fog that usually clouds your mornings will completely lift, replaced by a steady, calm, and vibrant mental energy that lasts the entire day, simply because your brain absolutely loves running on the clean, highly efficient ketones produced by burning your own stored fat. Finally, as you cross the 14-day mark, your clothes will begin to fit completely differently. The tape measure will undeniably prove that the hard, dangerous, visceral fat is rapidly shrinking away from your internal organs, and your natural sleep architecture will be beautifully restored, allowing you to wake up feeling genuinely rested for the first time in years. You have the absolute power to completely remodel your health, protect your vital organs, and beautifully reclaim your waistline without ever subjecting yourself to the sheer misery of starvation, simply by understanding your hormones and working alongside your body's ancient natural rhythm. If learning these profoundly simple, highly effective medical truths and understanding exactly how to naturally heal your body from the inside out brings a wonderful sense of hope, immense relief, and true empowerment to your life, make the firm choice to subscribe to this channel right now, joining a highly supportive community dedicated to ensuring that getting older means getting lighter, stronger, and significantly more vibrant every single day.